One of the key problems in life is that of how we perceive and how we interpret. We have too much negativity in our perception. Some people more than others, but all of us have too much fear-based negativity in our way of perceiving others and perceiving the world. And this actually just makes life worse on a whole range of levels. It makes us less motivated. It makes us less active in the world. It makes us less kind at different times. It makes so the consequence of it is the world that we create for ourselves a year from now, 10 years from now, isn't as good. But also the life we're living now isn't as good. The experience of our lives right now isn't as good. And this life is flying by. So we're wasting it through a self-protective negative perception, a self-protective negative way of interpreting things. So it's fundamental that you try and change your way of perceiving to see more of the goodness in the world and more of the beauty in the world. This is what I think. And it's a work I'm constantly engaged in, and it's a slow transformation. It's like, those big cargo ships. It's like turning one of those around. That takes a long time. It's a slow event from what I understand. I've never done it. You can imagine, though, the captain going, "Oh, this is taking too long. I give up." Well, that would be crazy. And, of course, it may take a long time for it to turn around, but when it has turned around, it has turned around. This is how it moves about. Now, we're even slower than that, of course, but the outcomes are real. So it will fundamentally change your life. It fundamentally changes my life to constantly work at improving my way of perceiving and hence experiencing and hence of feeling and acting and speaking. They all tie in together. They follow along. And one of the fundamental exercises you can do to really transform your perception, one of the habits you can instill that will transform your daily perception, is to really focus on seeing the good in other people. It's a very simple thing, but the most important things, as I never tire of saying, are often simple. They're just hard, or at least they require effort, or at least they require repetition. They require action. The most important things are simple, but they require action. They require effort, and too many people just won't engage in effort. So we have to do that if we want this transformation to happen. So we can do this simple practice. We can habituate this simple practice of seeing the good in other people. It's so easy to see the negativity in the people around us, especially, for example, at work, where you're thrown together with these other people that you might not have chosen to be around, and then you're getting stressed and you're busy and things are clashing or whatever. And of course, it happens in family life too. It happens in friendships. It happens with strangers down the street. So in general, seeing the good in other people, recognizing their good motivations, even if they're a bit cranky or shitty in this moment, constantly seeing where people are coming from, seeing the goodness, seeing the reasonableness in their motivations, but especially seeing the decency in other people. If you can start to cotton on to that, and you do that by looking for clues. Often you'll be looking for implicit clues. Often it'll be using your imagination. I remember a friend saying once that he was on a holiday in Indonesia or something, and he was having a cynical moment, looking at this ship of fools, a bunch of drunk people on a boat that were kind of just making fools of themselves, and he was becoming quite dark about human nature. And then it suddenly occurred to him that if he was going past in another little boat and it tipped over and he fell into the water and was in trouble, these people would be jumping into the water to help. So use your imagination, use your observation, pay attention, and you'll start to see goodness much more than you did before, and that will change how you experience things, and that will change your perception. It's important, worthwhile, transformative exercise.